Charles Darwin was a great scientist from England. He is famous for his ideas about nature and how animals change over time. Darwin was born a long time ago, in the year 1809. As a young boy, he loved to watch birds, insects, and plants. He asked many questions and wanted to understand how the world works. When he grew up, Darwin went on a long sea journey called the Voyage of the Beagle. This trip changed his life. He saw many new animals and plants in faraway lands. He looked carefully, took notes, and drew pictures. He wanted to learn why animals are different in each place. After many years of study, Darwin wrote a famous book called On the Origin of Species. In this book, he explained how animals and plants slowly change over time to live better in their homes. This idea is called evolution. It was a new and brave idea. Many people were surprised. Some people did not agree with him. But Darwin stayed calm and kind. He believed in sharing knowledge and learning more. Darwin worked very hard. He was often sick, but he did not stop. He read many books, wrote many letters, and did many experiments. He loved nature and wanted people to understand it too. Today, Darwin is one of the most important scientists in the world. His work helps us understand how life on Earth began and changed. He showed us that asking questions and watching nature can lead to big ideas. Charles Darwin's story teaches us to be curious, to keep learning, and to never give up. He changed the way we see the world. His life is a great example for all students and dreamers. Chapter 1: Early Life and Education of Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin was born on February 12, 1809, in Shrewsbury, England. He came from a rich and smart family. His father was a doctor, and his mother came from a family that made pottery. Charles was the fifth child in the family. As a small boy, Charles loved nature. He liked to walk outside, collect insects, and watch birds. He was very curious and wanted to know how things worked. He did not always enjoy school, but he loved learning on his own. When he was 8 years old, his mother died. This was very sad for young Charles. He went to school in Shrewsbury and lived in a boarding house. He studied Latin, Greek, and math, but he liked plants and animals more than books. At the age of 16, Charles went to Edinburgh University in Scotland to study medicine. His father wanted him to become a doctor. But Charles did not like the sight of blood, and he did not enjoy the classes. So, he stopped studying medicine. Later, his father sent him to Cambridge University. This time, Charles was going to become a church leader. But at Cambridge, he met teachers who loved nature, just like he did. He spent time collecting beetles and going on nature walks. He also studied plants, animals, and rocks. Charles did not become a doctor or a church leader. Instead, his love for nature grew stronger. His time in school helped him learn how to think and ask questions. These early years were very important for his future work. This was just the beginning of Charles Darwin's amazing journey. His love for nature and learning started when he was very young. Chapter 2: Voyage of the Beagle. In 1831, when Charles Darwin was 22 years old, he got a special chance. He was asked to join a ship called the HMS Beagle. The ship was going on a long trip around the world. Darwin went as a young scientist to study nature. This trip changed his life. The voyage lasted for 5 years. The Beagle started in England and visited many places, like South America, Africa, and Australia. Darwin looked at rocks, plants, animals, and fossils. He took many notes and drew pictures of everything he saw. One of the most important places Darwin visited was the Galapagos Islands. These are small islands near South America. On each island, he saw different types of birds, especially finches. Some had big beaks, and some had small ones. He also saw giant tortoises. He noticed that animals on each island were different, but also similar. This made him think deeply. Darwin collected many plants and animals. He sent some of them back to England. He talked to local people and learned about the land and its creatures. Every day, He asked questions and made careful observations. The sea journey was not always easy. Darwin often felt seasick. But he never gave up. He worked hard and wrote in his notebook every day. He wanted to understand why animals and plants were so different in each place. After 5 years, Darwin returned to England. He had a lot of information and ideas. This journey helped him build his famous theory about how animals change over time. The voyage of the Beagle was the most important journey of Darwin's life. It helped him see the world in a new way and start thinking about evolution. Chapter 3: Discoveries in the Galapagos. During his voyage on the Beagle, Charles Darwin visited the Galapagos Islands. These islands are in the Pacific Ocean, near South America. They were full of strange and beautiful animals. Darwin was very excited to explore them. He saw giant tortoises that could live for many years. Each island had tortoises with different shapes of shells. He also saw birds called finches. On each island, the finches looked a little different. Some had big beaks and some had small beaks. Darwin asked, "Why are they different?" Darwin watched the animals closely. He made drawings and took notes. He learned that the animals were not the same on every island. This was very interesting. It made him think that maybe the animals had changed slowly over time to live better in their homes. Darwin also found lizards that could swim in the ocean and others that lived on land. He saw many seabirds and small animals that lived only on the islands. These animals were not afraid of people because they had never seen humans before. He collected many samples of plants, rocks, and animals. He sent some back to England. He thought more about how animals survive and change. He asked many questions. Why do some animals live only on one island? How did they get there? These discoveries were very important. They helped Darwin think about a big idea: evolution. He believed that animals slowly change over many years to live better in their world. The Galapagos Islands gave Darwin many clues. They helped him understand how life changes. His time on the islands was a key moment in his life. It helped him make one of the biggest discoveries in science. Chapter 4: Developing the Theory of Natural Selection. After his voyage on the Beagle, Charles Darwin returned to England. He brought many notes, samples, and ideas. He started to think deeply about what he had seen, especially in the Galapagos Islands. He wanted to understand how animals and plants change over time. Darwin read many books and studied his notes. He learned about farming and how people choose the best animals to have babies. This is called selective breeding. He thought, what if nature does the same thing? Slowly, Darwin developed a new idea. He called it natural selection. This means that animals and plants that are strong and healthy have a better chance to live and have babies. The ones that are weak may not survive. Over many years, this can change the whole group. For example, a bird with a strong beak can eat more food. It will live longer and have more baby birds. The baby birds may also have strong beaks. This helps the group of birds grow stronger over time. Darwin worked on this idea for many years. He did not share it right away. He wanted to be sure. He also knew that some people might not agree. It was a new way of thinking about life. He wrote letters to other scientists. Some agreed with him, and some did not. But Darwin kept working. He wanted to explain his idea clearly. In 1859, Darwin wrote a book called On the Origin of Species. In this book, he explained natural selection. It was a big moment in science. Darwin's theory helped people understand how animals and plants change. His idea of natural selection changed the world of science forever. Chapter 5: Writing on the Origin of Species. Charles Darwin worked on his ideas for many years. He wanted to understand how animals and plants change over time. He called his idea natural selection. But he was careful. He knew that not everyone would agree with his thoughts. Darwin wrote many notes and letters. he studied animals, plants, and fossils. He also talked to other scientists. One day, he got a letter from a man named Alfred Wallace. Wallace had a similar idea about nature. This made Darwin act quickly. He decided it was time to share his work. Darwin started writing a book. He wanted to explain his idea in a simple way. He worked hard every day. He wrote clearly and gave many examples. The book took many months to finish. In 1859, Darwin published his book. It was called On the Origin of Species. The book was about how animals and plants change slowly over time. Darwin said that nature selects the best ones to live and grow. This is called natural selection. Many people read the book. Some liked it, and some did not. It was a new way to think about life. Some people were surprised. Others were angry. But many scientists began to agree with Darwin. The book became very famous. It was printed many times. Darwin kept learning and wrote more books later. But On the Origin of Species was his most important book. This book changed the world. It helped people understand how life works. Darwin showed that nature is always changing. His words gave people a new way to see animals, plants, and even themselves. Writing On the Origin of Species was a brave and important step in Darwin's life. Chapter 6: Public Reaction and Scientific Debate. When Charles Darwin published his book On the Origin of Species in 1859, many people were surprised. His idea of natural selection was new. He said that animals and plants change over time. This was different from what many people believed. Some people were excited. They said Darwin's book was full of good ideas. Many scientists liked the book. They said it helped explain how animals and plants grow and change. These scientists began to study more and ask new questions. But other people did not agree. Some were angry. They believed that all life was made in a special way and never changed. They thought Darwin's idea was wrong. Some people said it was against their religion. There were many debates. People talked about Darwin's ideas in newspapers, meetings, and schools. Some said the idea of natural selection was dangerous. Others said it was smart and helpful. It became a big topic in science and in daily life. Darwin stayed calm. He did not fight. He answered questions kindly and gave more facts. He wanted people to think and learn. He kept writing books to explain his ideas better. Even some scientists who did not agree at first later changed their minds. They saw that Darwin's ideas helped to explain many things in nature. Over time, more and more people accepted Darwin's theory. His work became the base of modern biology. Today, we know that natural selection is a true and important idea. The public reaction and debate were not easy for Darwin. But he stayed strong. He believed in science and in the power of ideas. His book opened the door to a new way of thinking about life on Earth. Chapter 7: Later Works and Research. After Charles Darwin wrote On the Origin of Species, he became very famous. Many people knew his name. But Darwin did not stop working. He continued to study nature. He wanted to learn more and share more ideas with the world. Darwin wrote many books after his first one. He studied different subjects. One book was about animals and their feelings. He showed that animals can feel happy, sad, or afraid, just like people. He also wrote about how humans have changed over time. This book was called The Descent of Man. Darwin loved plants too. He did many experiments in his garden. He studied how plants move, how they grow, and how they eat. He even wrote a book about small plants that eat insects. These plants are called insect-eating plants or carnivorous plants. He also studied earthworms. Most people thought earthworms were not important. But Darwin showed that worms help the soil and make it better for plants. He believed that every part of nature is important. Darwin worked slowly because he was often sick. but he never stopped thinking and writing. His family helped him, and he kept asking questions about the world around him. He always looked for the truth. He used facts and experiments to understand nature. He believed that science could help people learn more and live better. Charles Darwin's later works were just as important as his first book. He showed that learning never stops. His books helped people understand the world in new ways. Even today, scientists still read Darwin's work. His ideas help them make new discoveries. Darwin gave us a gift, the joy of learning about life, nature, and the world we live in. Chapter 8: Personal Life and Beliefs. Charles Darwin was not just a scientist. He was also a husband, a father, and a kind man. He lived a quiet life in the countryside of England. He loved peace, nature, and his family. Darwin married a woman named Emma Wedgwood. She was his cousin. They loved each other very much. They had 10 children. Darwin enjoyed spending time with his children. He played with them and taught them about nature. He was a loving and gentle father. Darwin was often sick. He had stomach problems and felt tired many days. But even when he was not well, he continued to read, write, and study. He worked at home in his study. He liked to walk in his garden and think. Darwin believed in being honest and careful. He always wanted to know the truth. He said it is okay to ask questions and to say, "I don't know." He believed that learning comes from asking and observing. His beliefs about religion changed slowly. When he was young, Darwin believed in God in a traditional way. But after studying science for many years, he became unsure. He did not say he was against religion, but he had many questions. He respected other people's beliefs and never wanted to hurt anyone. Darwin believed that science and kindness could make the world better. He was polite, calm, and friendly to everyone. People who met him said he was a good and gentle man. Charles Darwin's personal life shows that you can be both smart and kind. He showed that it is okay to change your mind when you learn something new. His life teaches us to be curious, caring, and always ready to learn more. Chapter 9: Health Struggles and Final Years. Charles Darwin was a great thinker, but he had many health problems. For most of his life, he often felt sick. He had stomach pain, headaches, and felt tired all the time. Sometimes, he could not work for many days. Even during his trip on the Beagle, he got very sick and never fully got better. Doctors did not know what was wrong. In those days, medicine was not very advanced. Darwin tried many treatments, but nothing helped much. Even with pain, he kept working. He stayed strong and did his best every day. Darwin lived in a quiet house called Down House. It was in the countryside, far from the busy city. He liked the peace and quiet. He walked in his garden, looked at plants, and thought about big ideas. His wife Emma and their children took care of him and gave him love and support. In his final years, Darwin wrote more books and letters. He also answered questions from other scientists around the world. He was respected and loved by many people. Even when he was old and weak, he continued to learn and teach. Charles Darwin died on April 19, 1882. He was 73 years old. His death was peaceful. Many people were sad to lose such a kind and wise man. He was buried in Westminster Abbey in London, near other great British people. Even though Darwin was often sick, he never gave up. His hard work, kind heart, and strong mind helped change the world. His final years showed how one person can keep learning and sharing, even in pain. Darwin's life teaches us to be brave, curious, and kind, no matter what challenges we face. Chapter 10: Legacy and Impact on Modern Science. Charles Darwin's work changed the world. His ideas about evolution and natural selection helped people understand how animals and plants change over time. Today, his work is a big part of modern science. Before Darwin, many people believed that all living things stayed the same forever. But Darwin showed that life is always changing. He explained that animals and plants change slowly to live better in their environment. This idea is called evolution. Scientists now use Darwin's theory to study animals, plants, and even people. His work helps in many areas like biology, medicine, and the environment. Thanks to Darwin, we know why some animals survive and others do not. We also understand how new kinds of animals can appear over time. Darwin's book, On the Origin of Species, is still read and respected around the world. It is one of the most important science books ever written. Many schools and universities teach his ideas. Even though some people did not agree with him at first, more and more scientists saw that Darwin was right. His ideas were based on facts, research, and careful thinking. He showed that asking questions and looking at nature can lead to great discoveries. Darwin's legacy is not just in books and science. He also taught us to be curious, kind, and patient. He showed that anyone can learn and grow, no matter what problems they face. Today, Darwin is remembered as one of the greatest scientists in history. Statues, schools, and parks are named after him. His face is on coins and stamps. Charles Darwin's impact on science is still strong. His ideas continue to help us understand the world and our place in it. Vocabularies. 1. Evolution, the slow change in living things over a long time. 2. Natural selection, the process where the strongest animals or plants survive and grow. 3. Species, a group of animals or plants that are the same kind. 4. Observation, watching something carefully to learn more about it. 5. Scientist, a person who studies and learns about the world through experiments and facts. 6. Theory, an idea or explanation that is based on careful study. 7. Environment, the place where animals, plants, and people live. 8. Fossil, the remains of old animals or plants found in the ground. 9. Research, the work of finding new facts and information. 10. Legacy, the important things a person leaves behind after they are gone. Questions. 1. In which country was Charles Darwin born? 2. What was the purpose of Darwin's journey on the HMS Beagle? 3. What did Darwin observe about finches on the Galapagos Islands? 4. What idea did Darwin develop to explain how animals change over time? 5. What is the name of the book where Darwin explained his theory? 6. How did the public react to Darwin's theory of natural selection? 7. What small animals did Darwin study that help make soil better? 8. What was Darwin's belief about religion later in life? 9. What kind of health problems did Darwin often suffer from? 10. How is Darwin remembered and honored today? Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed learning with us. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. Your support helps us grow and bring you more inspiring stories and easy English learning content. Do you have a topic you'd like us to cover in our next video? Maybe a famous person, an invention, or a country. Let us know in the comments or messages. We'd love to hear your ideas. You can find answers in the description. Thanks again, and keep learning with us. See you in the next video.